Jaguars fans, welcome back into the fan cave. Man, oh, this one hurts. It still hurts. Week 8 hurts against the Seahawks, but that's behind us now. The heartache of that game is over. The Jaguars have come home. They've licked their wounds all week long. Zero movement was made on Deshaun Jackson, who easily becomes the number 2, number 3 receiver on this team. You know, maybe we'll make a move at Odell. I don't know. That's just a whole litany of weird problems and things to talk about there. And they're 1-6 after just a bad game. But we're on to week 9. The Buffalo Bills are coming to town. Man, what a tale of two different franchises. 2017, January 2018, in the playoffs wildcard game at TIAA Bank Field, 10-3, the Jaguars win it against a Buffalo Bills team that moved on from their quarterback after that season, ends up drafting Josh Allen, and now we have the Jaguars who, they give Blake Bortles that huge extension, not huge, but they thought was deserved extension, and that's the tale of two franchises. One extended a bad quarterback, one said they're going to move on from the journeyman quarterback of Tyrod Taylor, and here we are. One team is one of the best teams in the National Football League, and one is, once again, one of the worst teams in the National Football League, and they're going head-to-head this week in Jacksonville. So, yay us. But it's honestly, I'm looking at this matchup as the battle of the future of the NFL. We have two of the best young quarterbacks in the National Football League, Trevor Lawrence versus Josh Allen. Josh Allen is lighting the league on fire once again. He has a great litany of targets, starting with Stephon Diggs. That has been a massive get for the Bills. Now, Trevor Lawrence, how well does he do in this game? He's going up against one of the best secondaries in the league, arguably the best secondary or safety duo of Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer. Obviously, one of them, I believe it's Micah Hyde, hasn't been populated on the injury report, so maybe he won't be ready for game time. But still, this is one of the best defenses in the league. It is the number one defense in the league, and they're also the number one defense and getting turnovers. They're plus 13 turnover differential. The Jaguars are minus 11. There's a 24 turnover difference in this game here. We have the Jaguars who have had honestly one good interception and then one that Nevin Lawson. I feel like if I was standing there, I could have caught that interception. He was literally just in the right spot at the right time. There's a reason he didn't have an interception prior. He just got lucky, and then he almost bobbled that one. So huge turnover differential spread here. Trevor Lawrence, if the Jaguars are going to win, Trevor Lawrence has to play mistake-free football. It has to be, every single throw has to be on the money. There can't be a Ledrowska, Chenault. He can't drop a ball. Marvin Jones has to be on the money. He has to get 13 targets. He has to catch them all. Jamal Agnew has to play lights out in this game. Everyone has to just perform to the utmost of their abilities for this receiving core. James Robinson is day-to-day with a bruised heel. He still hasn't practiced. More than likely, I'm going into this game expecting it to be the Carlos Hyde show. He's not a good running back. He's serviceable as a number, as a rotational. Maybe James Robinson wants to come in or come out for a couple snaps. Put Carlos Hyde in. He can't be a feature back. There's a reason he hasn't stuck on a team. He was one of Trent Baalke's bad picks in San Francisco, and he's kind of just bounced around the league, and he found a home with his former college coach, Urban Meyer, in Jacksonville. He was one of those, too loyal to quit kind of signings that I've talked about so much with, the Tebow, the Dorsett, and the Carlos Hyde. Just too loyal to quit. He couldn't give up on guys he recruited. Even the fact of Walker Little. He loved Walker Little because he recruited Walker Little. Ultimately, Little went to Stanford, but still, he is just overly loyal. James Robinson, if he plays, he's a great addition to this offense. But in all reality, it's not like it's going to matter. We're going up against one of the best teams in the National Football League, and this is one of the best defenses that the Jaguars will face all year. Even Urban Meyer has said it himself. This is one of the best teams that he has scouted thus far going into Week 9 at home. Now, what in the world are the Jaguars going to do at the wide receiver position? I know I've talked about it already. Agnew is looking like he's going to be getting the most targets off this Jaguar squad. I believe he's gotten 27 targets in these past 3 weeks. That leads all Jaguars receivers. And this is a guy that was playing defensive back 2 years ago. He wasn't even playing wide receiver. We have a guy that is, and then we have Marvin Jones, who was on that exact same team as Jamal Agnew, who is the number 2 to Kenny Golladay. He's being out targeted and out caught, and frankly outperformed by a guy that was a backup corner and a kick returner on that same team. What? We have 2 people from different sides of the ball playing on this team, both at wide receiver, and the defensive guy is outperforming the offensive guy from Detroit. Pinch me, I am dreaming. Laviska Shenault can't get right. I don't know if it's the Jaguars using him improperly. I don't know if it's just he can't get over himself and can't catch the damn ball, making body catches. I don't know what it is. But Dan Arnold's continued to play well. The Jaguars definitely came out on top on this trade. Sending CJ and I believe a 6th for Dan Arnold and a 3rd. I'm 1,000% okay because CJ's not even starting in Carolina. Jags did a great job making that trade. Glad they stood firm on the fact that they wanted a tight end from Carolina. Now, this offensive line, Ben Bartch has played very well, in my opinion. Last week, the offensive line played poorly. They were porous like Swiss cheese. The Seahawks did whatever they wanted to, especially once that game got lost. And it was, 3-score differential in the first half. The Seahawks just pinned their ears back and got after Trevor Lawrence all game long. But Ben Bartch has played very well in AJ Cann's absence. Tyler Shatley, Brandon Linder, that's still kind of up in the air when Brandon will return. Other than that, Cam Robinson's been playing well this year. Andrew Norwell has been, serviceable. He's been a very good left guard. Jawan Taylor, oh God, I don't know what's going on with that. Have we reached the point of the season where we need to say Walker Little just needs to play right tackle, figure it out, because he might as well get some development out of that position rather than just have this bum at right tackle who played very well his rookie year for being a rookie and has just kind of seemed to plateau and regress almost in 2021. And they're going up against one of the best pass rushes in the league. They continue to build on this pass rush as well, getting Espinoza in the draft, and they're just building and building and building off of that front 7. They have 15 sacks on the year, almost 50 hurries. They have 49 quarterback hurries so far this year. Those are incredible numbers considering the Jaguars are just bottom of the barrel and not able to do anything, in all honesty. Compared, 15 sacks and 49 hurries compared to the Jaguars' 11 sacks and 25 hurries. That tells you all about what you need to know about this front 7 of the Bills. Now, will this front 7 be able to contain Josh Allen? Josh Allen is secretly one of the most mobile quarterbacks in the league. He already has almost 300 yards on the ground. And going into week 9, 30 yards on the ground, just under at 269. He is a mobile threat for this Bills offense, and he is a threat that the Jaguars are going to have to contend with. Back in 2018, whenever they played them up in Buffalo, and the infamous Fournette Fight Club incident happened in the end zone. Josh Allen torched us. Josh Allen beat us with his legs, and then made that game a gap, and then continued to just proceed with the beatdown after the Jags had kind of just squandered their opportunity in Buffalo. So will this Jaguars front 7 be able to contain him? Caleb Von Chason hasn't shown anything. Josh Allen had a good game in Seattle, but at the end of the day, that defense just didn't play well, giving up 24 points in the first half. Can Miles Jack, can Damian Wilson, can they do something to contain him? Zach Moss has been playing very well as well. Now, I'm trying to focus on containing Josh Allen and Zach Moss, but then at the same time, they have Stephon Diggs, who is, he's a top 12 wide receiver, top 10 wide receiver in this league, and then they have a great number 2 in Emmanuel Sanders. If Geno Smith picked apart this secondary with Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf, what is Josh Allen, who is a top 5 quarterback in this league, going to do with Stephon Diggs and Emmanuel Sanders? This game has an opportunity to get very ugly very quickly because, okay, so you have Shaq Griffin cover Stephon Diggs, then you have Tyson Campbell who has yet to learn how to turn his head around and look for a ball. He can run with the pocket all day long. He can run in his pocket all day long. The ball's in the air. He just forgets to turn his head. I don't know what's going on. They need to figure this problem out because it is a problem that they are having in the secondary. And it is just going to continue to get worse and worse and worse. it's going to be a bad day for this Jaguars defense. I'm just going to come out and say that right now. But, Logan Cook needs to stretch that leg. He needs to hydrate. He needs to stretch that leg, get some bananas in him, get some potassium, because those hamstrings are going to be hurting. Those quads are going to be hurting. His hip flexor is going to be hurting. Because I'm expecting him to punt the ball 9-10 times this game. I believe they had 12 series, 12 drives last week in Seattle. I'm expecting this game to be worse. If that's what this Jaguars offense did against a terrible Seattle Seahawks team, they're one of the worst defenses in the league. And they're a journeyman quarterback and Geno Smith, who hadn't won a game since 2016. I was in high school. I'm 23 years old. The last time Geno Smith was starting and he won a game was 2016. I was a high school senior. Get the hell out of here. What is Josh Allen going to look like? So this defense is going to eat apart this Jaguars offense. Josh Allen's going to eat this Jaguars defense. Logan Cook's going to be kicking it 9-10 times this game. And hopefully he stretches that leg. Hopefully, he gets it warm and ready. Maybe Jamal Agnew can create a spark. We haven't seen a big play out of him in a while. What was it, week 4, last time we saw anything super, super productive. Obviously, I'm looking back to his touchdowns, but hopefully something good comes from that. At the end of the day, this is going to be a blowout Bills win. Smash the over. I think it's 14.5 right now. Smash the over. Take, Bills money line's probably like, minus 1,000, minus 1,100, something crazy. And, if you're feeling frisky, you think the Jags can, somehow pull this win out, you're going to make a crazy amount of money if you choose to play that line. And then, if, you can probably take the points at still a crazy good amount, 14.5 to the Bills. Whew, that's a college spread right there, 14.5. They're easy 2 touchdowns. I have the Bills winning 37-10. That's going to be an easy cover for the Bills. They're ultimately going to fall to 1-7 going into the next week 10. Man, this has the opportunity to get ugly really quickly. If they come out and they play the same way that they did against the Seattle Seahawks, this game is going to get very bad very quickly, and very, just the national media is going to continue to rip Urban Meyer apart. And the Jacksonville Jaguars fans are going to just continue to rip this franchise, especially if they don't add anything at wide receiver. There's been no conversation of Deshaun Jackson joining this team. There's been no conversation of Odell actually joining the Jags. It's been a lot of Seattle Seahawks talk of what I've seen on Twitter thus far. So if they continue to just add nothing at the wide receiver and rely on Marvin Jones, Jamal Agnew, and Laviska Shenault to be the the top 3 threats on this team at the receiving core, it's going to get ugly, especially even for a GM like Trent Baalke. I'm expecting Urban to get a second year, but I need the Urban of Ohio State. I need the Urban of Florida. I do not need the Urban that's protecting his health, that is going to, he's got it on cruise control at 35 miles an hour when he's used to pushing it at 100. Give me 80. Give me, let's go. What happened? Because every person I've heard that's had an interaction with you or one of your coaching staff is you're a maniac, and you are doing nothing of the sort. It just seems like you're letting your coaches coach. Is Charlie Strong really the head coach of this team? Is Urban Meyer secretly the head coach or the GM of this team, and Trent Baalke is just this figurehead? Is he just a pansy Tom Coughlin in this whole situation where he kind of has the final stamp? What is going on here? Is Charlie Strong really leading this team? Because Urban Meyer doesn't seem to be the Urban Meyer of past. So I'm going to leave it at that. Bills 37, Jaguars 10. I'm not expecting a good game at all. I'm going to watch it, obviously, until the final clock hits 000. But, man, is it going to be painful? There's going to be a lot of ice-cold Busch Lights going down this Sunday as the Jaguars take on the Bills. And with that being said, stay safe and hopefully go Jaguars.